Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to this week's Hot Stocks Outlook. It is September 15th, 2017, and we are seeing phenomenal opportunities all throughout the markets. Just a ton of volatility, S&P hitting new highs, and really a lot of sectors really showing that volatility, which is what we absolutely need as traders. So we're going to take a look at these markets. We've got Boston Scientific, Himax Technology, American Outdoor Brands, H&R Block, and the Dollar Tree. So, I mean, we're talking healthcare, tech, guns, taxes, and retail there. So regardless of which markets you focus on, what sectors, these markets are moving, and you need to have the process in place to really identify this and make the most of these opportunities here. So here in Boston Scientific here, let's take a look at this. Against the chart, we have the daily bars and candles. So these are just daily data. The software works off of end of day data here. So what we understand is that whenever we have a crossover between these two values that you see on the chart, that is a huge red flag that says, look, there's been a trend reversal in this market, because what we have with these two values is this blue line. That is a value generated via the artificial intelligence and neural networks found within the VantagePoint software here. And what we're comparing that to, this black line, is a regular simple moving average. So simply just a summary of what's already occurred over a period of time in the market. So when we understand that this prediction has risen above the value of that actual simple moving average, that summary, we know that there's been a trend change, and trend shifts and trend changes. That's when the big opportunities, the really great risk reward ratios open up. So what we understand is, look, it's time to go ahead, start getting long the market. And what we can use are these really great tools within VantagePoint to manage these opportunities, allowing us to be heavier on the position when we're in a trend and cutting losers short, which is what you got to do as a trader. So here we have the predicted neural index at the bottom of the chart. And in combination with this trend index, this is a highly accurate short-term strength or weakness over just 2 trading days. So, we're not talking the overall trend. We're talking short-term 48 hours strength or weakness. So you know what to anticipate in the market and can be prepared for your trading style and your approach. And last but not least, you're also even provided with a predicted range for each trading day. So when you know the trend direction, have a extremely accurate indicator for that short-term strength or weakness, but then also have the predicted levels that it's going to make you a very efficient trader, and you can develop rules and a process for yourself to keep you, trading well and trading efficiently, which is really the theme here of what's so important for any business and any traders out there in the market. So what we really identify here is simple. We want to get long the market. As long as that blue line remains above the black line, the trend is up. But as this market moved up we see 8% over the past 17 trading days, we can manage these positions in a wide variety of ways based on our trading style. So if we bring up the predicted high and low ranges, so all of these values which you had before the trading day occurred, you can set limit orders down here at the market to be buying on these dips. And you see how effective this is as far as a trader understanding that, look, I want to buy BSX. I'm going to be wanting to buy this as long as this trend remains intact. And you've got those levels each and every day to let you know what to expect. So you can buy into these markets, set your profit targets, but also not get kicked out of the market when you realize, look, we're getting a little volatility. The trend is still up. Maintain that position so you can make some money. And that is the huge sort of shift that a lot of traders deal with, is taking losses when they should have gains, but they don't hold on to their trades. So really nice opportunity there in BSX for the trend traders and the day traders. Here in Himax, it's really the exact same story, because the indicators work exactly the same on every single market. So when we look at Himax, it's exactly the same thing as Boston Scientific. And we recognize that this market looks to start trending up. As a trend trader, we say, look, we want to be in uptrending markets. We've gotten a ton of volatility after this market's hit its recent highs here, but we're up about 22% over the past 15 trading days. And not just that though, but again, let's bring up those predicted highs and lows. So, if you don't want to hold, for 15, 16, 20 days or whatever, if that's not your style, you've got these predicted levels that are really going to get you really good intraday prices for you to go ahead and trade from. And so as long as this market remains in an uptrend, you want to go ahead and keep pushing those positions, trade from those levels, because that's where you're going to see the most opportunity. And again, be very efficient. So here we have, again, just another opportunity where this market, up 20+%, trend is still up, but you're really recognizing these things down here at 860 and the market's trading above $10 a share. So you want to recognize these things early, get in on the trend, and really ideally hold on to these things as long as possible, because crazy things can happen in these equity markets. So let's go ahead and move forward to American Outdoor Brands. And this is just a perfect example of, when I'm setting up a portfolio, I don't want to have 5 or 6 all long positions. I want to take some short positions as well. I want to really hedge that overall portfolio. But the reality is that when you have that process in place, you can make money on both those positions. So it's not necessarily a hedge. You're making money on the short side and the downside of the market. But here we had a very clean crossover here to the downside, saying the trend is down. There is no reason to be going long American Outdoor Brands. We see our Neural Index, when that crossover came through, forecasting that short 2 days of weakness. So simply as a trader who wants to trade American Outdoor Brands, it's pretty simple. You want to remain short the market. You want to keep an eye on those rallies and declines that you're going to get when this, get that short-term strength from the Neural Index. And you want to keep your eye on those predicted high levels, essentially, for levels to go ahead and set short positions from. And you really see how this software adapts of, we had a little day where we traded a little higher. Look how this predicted high comes all the way up here and says that's where you want to short for today. And as this market trends lower and lower and lower, just continually getting great entries inside of the downtrend that you recognize. So, things can always get, crazy here where you see, we're getting the big gaps in the market and really accelerating the weakness in that trade. But the point is still the same, that, you need that process in place so that you can recognize these things and not be going long by any means. And if anything, taking shorts in line with your strategy, your process, staying very diligent and really controlled with how you interact with the market. Let's move over to H&R Block. So another similar example of some weakness in the market, but this is about as clear as it gets of saying we want to be short. Everything is pointing towards trend weakness, short-term weakness, and that means look towards the predicted high levels, and you see just how effective these levels are. So if you're a short-term trader, you target these predicted lows. You may sit in the market for a few days, but that trend is going to continue and you're going to hit those levels. As the trade moves forward, you see, popping a little bit higher on these days, but the trend still does appear to be down. And so, what you really recognize utilizing this approach and these tools is, when you get in on these things early, go in with your risk management, your overall strategy, but understanding that, you're going to be constantly updated with where those probabilities are, what's expected to happen in the market, so that you can adapt to those conditions. And that's really the key, is that, when you get into a market 1 week, it may not be the same situation 2 weeks down the road, and you want to be able to adjust and ebb and flow with that situation. And that's how you're going to do well, protect your capital, and get yourself into some really great trading situations as well. Dollar Tree here, last example we'll take a look at today. But same logic, same approach every single time of understanding, here's where the trend started. Here's where, if we're running our scans, looking for these fresh crossovers, we take a look at Dollar Tree and say, okay, well, getting a lot of strength from Neural Index, the crossover is up. I know that if this is a new trend I want to trade, I'm going to go ahead and track this market, utilize those predicted high and low levels, but of course, stay long because the trend is up. So let's go ahead. We'll bring again those predicted high and low levels that you're provided with. And what you'll see is you've got a really good guide for getting into these markets. See almost a perfect entry the next trading day. We dip back down to your entry price, but look how quickly things adapt and you're back on to hitting these predicted low levels, and the trend keeps moving higher. So, that's what we just want to understand is, nothing's going to be absolutely perfect in any given market, But when you have a tool that's just very, very consistently accurate at gauging these realities of the market, what price levels you should really expect when trend changes happen, you're just much more aware, and you can use these tools to develop a process and a system. And that is exactly what I recommend traders do with VantagePoint, because it is performing the same thing every single day. It does its analysis, it generates these predictive indicators to allow you to make better trading decisions in the market. And that's what it simply is all about. So Dollar Tree here, just a fantastic opportunity over the duration of this trade. You would have made a ton of money staying in this market over the long haul. But a ton of day trades and short-term opportunities to make money as well. If you trade options, great time to buy the calls. But this market here up about 22%. In a very, very short period of time, and many of these markets just performing excellently. HIMX up 20%. American Outdoor Brands, if we look at this over the duration, this market is down 39, almost 40%. So, when you can recognize these markets and understand that you want to keep trading that market, that the trend is still down, that's where you're able to go ahead and be in the right place at the right time and make a lot of money on a given trading opportunity. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave some questions, comments, anything that you have in the areas provided below. Once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook. It is September 15th, 2017. Best of luck to you traders out there in the markets, and bye for now. Good luck, guys.